Thank you all so much for coming back here to our DNA stage. It's my great pleasure to welcome Christian Schulmeier from the REWE Print Buying Group and Stefan Spengler from iQIP, one of our DNA exhibitors and partners here, for a very interesting conversation about what a few years ago was simply called soft proofing. I think that's fair to say, but you brought this all to the next level. And given how much of a brand powerhouse the REWE Group actually is, maybe in particular for our international guests, why don't you tell us a little bit more about REWE, because you just shared some things with me that I did not know, that REWE is actually that much of a big employer and powerhouse, in particular here in Germany and in Europe.
Yeah, thank you for being here. It's working, okay. Yeah, the REWE Group, I think perhaps you know REWE Group as one of the biggest retail companies in the food sector, but also in the non-food sector. We have around about, I think, 350,000 employees around about Europe, and also in Far East, in Hong Kong, for example. Perhaps you know our supermarket brands, which is REWE, as you know, but also our discount sales line, which is Penny, which is also placed in Central Eastern Europe, for example, and Italy and Austria.
And that's the reason why the interview for me is incredibly important. I always shop at REWE. I know if I screw this up here, you might get me banned. So I will stay very much to the script here. So no deviation from any other questions. Stefan, tell us a little bit before we ask the first question also about iQIP, that we know who is on stage.
Thank you for inviting us to the stage as well. iQIP is just a solution, web-based, provided as a software as a service, to give the customer, especially the print buyers, the idea whether the print orders they buy globally are worth the money they pay for it, and also to support the printers to reach the expectations a print buyer has to them, so that both of the partners, we will always talk about partners in that condition, speak on the same level of knowledge. That's a big thing for us to get the printers and the print buyers on the same communication level.
Perfect. Christian, tell us a little bit more about your specific role as a print buyer for the REWE Group, please.
Yeah, we are responsible for the procurement of all the advertising material which is needed within our group, especially leaflets, for example, catalogs, something like that. And I think since 2013 now we are using iQIP as our tool for the quality assurance. And made a very good experience with this when it's about advertising materials. And yeah, we started with using iQIP also for our non-food packaging production 2 years ago. And yeah, I'm the responsible project manager for this project.
And in that role, what are the challenges that you usually see when it comes to packaging production? What are the challenges the global packaging industry actually faces currently?
Yeah, the problem is when we are talking about our non-food goods, we want to sell and have them on time on the shelf in the supermarket. It's very important for us that we have a good quality of the color, because we want to give our customers the best brand experience. We started with our non-food brand, private label, Vives, and the challenge is that we are working in a global market. The goods are coming from China, from India, also from Central Eastern Europe, and also the packaging has to be produced in China or something. And yeah, to get a good quality on time and to have the goods on time in the supermarket, that's the big challenge, I think.
Yeah. And how did you manage to basically solve the problem of making sure packaging looks wherever you need it similar, if not identical?
Yeah, before we started using iQIP, so what can you do? You can make a press approval on site, and yeah, we had an agency in China who especially does this. It goes into the printing company in China and makes a press approval. Or we are shipping press proofs from China or from India to Germany, and then we can assure that our quality is good. But this is not what we want to do. In our target workflow with iQIP, we want that the printing company uses iQIP to assure that they have a good quality and that they reach our target. And then it's no longer possible to necessary to ship press proofs or something like that, and this saves time and money for both of us, I think.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's not just one partner in China. How many partners, if that's a number that you can share, how many partners would you have worldwide that would need to do the same that happened in China if there would not be iQIP, that people need to go to a factory, to a print provider and look actually at samples?
I cannot tell you exactly, but I can say that we have a collaboration with, I think, 5 or 6 printing companies at the moment who are using iQIP, and we have very good results with them.
So obviously it would be huge manual effort to just get that all basically controlled manually going back and forth.
Yes, we started to reduce the manual effort, even for the printers and even for the customer himself. So there was also an interesting point which lets REWE Group to use iQIP. As you started in the introduction, they have a huge amount of colleagues which are involved in the buying process, even if they are not. Mr. Schulmeier is for sure expert in printing technologies, but in this huge REWE Group environment, there are print buyers which came from another professional background, and we have to integrate also non-professional colleagues into the color communication so that they can easily judge on reliable results, on reliable visualizations of print quality based on spectral color, based on registration measurement, and even on non-measurable quality criteria they do define in an individual catalog to judge over the entire product quality. And this is quite a challenge to do that in one single system. And I think we got this done for the REWE Group and also in the drupa product we introduce now on the drupa. And to give the non-professionals also a high level of professional communication over print quality, that is a really interesting aspect in this condition we have in global print buying.
And Christian, was that the main motivation to hire JobView, was just to replace that process of manual approval, or was other decisions played a role there as well?
No, that was the main reason. Yes, exactly. JobView gives us the possibility to communicate with the buyers from the goods within our group, but also with the suppliers who deliver the goods to our supermarkets. Because sometimes it's not the printing company which is within our printing pool, but it's the printing company which the supplier itself chooses. And yeah, that was the motivation. Exactly.
And what was so special about JobView in particular for you as a professional print buyer?
From my point of view, certainly the biggest advantage is that we have this visualization between of the differences between the printing result and our target, and for that we implemented on the monitor. You have a slider, something like that, you know, and you can compare the target, which is which is the print data, and iQIP calculates a color profile from the measurement data which they get from the printing companies, and that's the mechanism how it works.
Yeah, and do you want to add something to it, or Stefan, please? Yeah.
And what is really cool and new for this entire industry, we discussed it with our customer REWE as well. We can integrate even outside persons of the company, which are responsible for the color communication as well, free of charge. There's no additional charging to send the report to a provider which provides the good, for example, the SEEP, I don't know that in English. And so you can integrate a huge number of people into the communication without being charged with money for this technical transfer of the report to a specific recipient group. So that is also really interesting that REWE wants to integrate also its suppliers in the quality communication, and perhaps also in complaints and these stuff things, but easily to do it by defining mail recipients, and that's it.
Yeah. So we know in particular brands often use Pantone colors, you know, very important. Everyone always talks about the Coca-Cola red, but there's so many other colors. How in particular have Pantone reproduction challenges addressed in iQIP?
Yeah, a good quality of the Pantone color, that's the most important, thing for us, because when we are thinking about our Vivers private label, we have some different product ranges, and each product ranges has a different Pantone color, and it's very important that we have a good and unique color visualization on the shelf, because that's what I told in the beginning. The brand experience is very important. So Pantone color is extremely important for us, and I think iQIP is managing that very good, because we have all this LRB well used for our Pantone CI colors within our measurement wedges and in our target profiles, and it's no problem to have a good assessment of these colors as well.
Yeah, particularly in a supermarket where you have box after box next to each other, where customers can easily see the variance in colors. Thousands of boxes, it has to be spot on, right? Literally has to be spot on.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and I'm sure the brands pay close attention that it is accurately represented in the supermarket.
And you're right, because the different articles were printed in different locations, and even in different printing techniques, and even in different, let's say, varnishing and embossing, and there are some plastic layers on it, and therefore the similar product range has to be in appearance the same, and that's really a challenge. And we try to, we don't try it. We had solved this problem for our customer REWE.
Perfect. And what further development potential for real substrates do you see when it comes to proofing on the web?
Sorry, I didn't get there now. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, what further development do you see to proof real substrates,
Yes.
soft-proof, through web-based solutions.
Okay, so we are in Drupa DNA, Drupa Next Age. From our point of view, now we provided a web-based solution. Every expert knows that the browser is at the moment restricting technique to make really soft-proof through the browser. So actually, we are providing a relative comparison based on spectral measurement data. That's really cool and fine. But for the future, we will develop a solution to make the browser also capable to do all this calibration, validation stuff on any installation out of the world. So at the moment, we don't have to manage monitor calibration and all these things because of a quite reliable relative comparison. But for the future, the browser will be the main application to get all the persons which are involved in quality communication as a single tool worldwide. So for the future, I don't think we should be next Drupa, but much more earlier, getting this solution, soft-proofing in the browser with real substrate soft-proofing, also for the printers and the print buyers done as a new solution for the future.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time. I would like in particular to thank a brand to come, because so often I think we printers struggle that not everyone on the branding side or the brand side is able and willing to share information. So I really appreciate that you took the time, because I think ultimately everything that the vendors on this show do, they do it for folks like you, for brands like you, and without that collaboration it would not work as well as it actually does. So thank you all very much. Please take time to go to the iQIP booth if you want to ask further questions. And I thank you all and look forward to see you for the next session again. Thank you both.
Thank you.